Monk mode is a way of life that focuses on self-improvement, discipline, and solitude. It helps you become more productive, focused, and mindful. If you're interested in learning more about monk mode, this guide is for you. Monk mode is a lifestyle inspired by the lifestyle of monks who live in monasteries and devote their lives to spiritual practice. It emphasizes the importance of self-discipline, solitude, and personal growth. It is not just about spirituality, but also about taking control of your life and becoming the best version of yourself. People choose monk mode for various reasons. Some people are looking to improve their productivity and focus, while others are looking for peace and clarity. Monk mode can help you find your purpose in life, simplify your life, and reduce stress. It can also help you develop better habits and achieve your goals. But before you decide you want to do monk mode, you need to actually ask yourself if you have what it takes. It won't be easy and takes a lot of dedication and hard work. Arguably, the hardest part is that you will need to learn how to say no to your friends and family to do your work, and it might seem unimportant if you stop for one day, but you must understand these actions compound greatly, and you must be ruthless with your time. One thing every billionaire understands is that their time is the most valuable thing they have, and you must adopt the same mindset with your time to succeed. That now, before I actually tell you what to do, we must set some rules you must follow in your monk mode. I have 5 rules that you need to follow if you actually want to do monk mode. There are at least 1 hour of exercise every day, at least 10 minutes of meditation every day, at most 2 hours screen time every day, at least 8 hours sleep every night, and no drugs or alcohol. Every single one of these are non-negotiables that must be done if you actually want to maximize your success. You cannot have a strong mind without a strong body, so you must train your body every day to effectively achieve your goals. I would recommend weightlifting or a fighting sport the most, as these have the most benefits, but even just a walk would do if you aren't physically capable enough to do that every day. That you can do what you want, just make sure your body is moving for at least 1 hour a day. Next, the 10 minutes of meditation a day is a minimum amount you should be doing. The benefits of meditation are massive, as will greatly increase your concentration and awareness. Without the meditation, you will be slipping into the bad habits without even realizing, so it is a must-do. And if you have never meditated before and don't want to because you think it is stupid, just try it for a week and I guarantee you will see amazing results. Meditation is the closest thing we have to a superpower, so to not use it is a crime. Then we have less than 2 hours of screen time. I can guarantee that if you're watching this, then you're addicted to the internet and your phone. Did you actually have the goal to find a video on monk mode when you logged onto YouTube? Or were you just mindlessly scrolling on your recommended page? If so, then you have an unhealthy addiction to the internet and must limit your usage. Without actually giving yourself a limit, you are going to fall back into old habits, and the monk mode won't work. Now, there are some exceptions, like if you need to work on your phone, but just know if you exploit this, you are just failing yourself. Then we have at least 8 hours of sleep per night. On monk mode, you will be working relentlessly, so you will need the best rest possible to actually be able to achieve this. A lot of people like to say that they don't need sleep and that they can survive on less than 6 hours and just coffee, but this is a lie. It is physically impossible to be at your best under these conditions, and these people just don't realize that they are sleep deprived because your body becomes used to it and it seems normal. But to make sure we get our best sleep, we must make sure we are in the best conditions. You need to make sure your room is dark. Make sure that it is at a good temperature and that you haven't eaten at least 2 hours or looked at a screen in the last 1 hour before you go to bed. And if you do all this and still find you can't sleep, then you haven't worked hard enough that day. Why else would you still have energy when you are supposed to be resting? And lastly, we have no drugs or alcohol. This one is self-explanatory, but I still see people saying that drugs like weed help them and that it's okay sometimes, but this is false, and anyone telling you otherwise is only trying to damage you. Now, these are my rules, but I encourage you to add any of your own depending on your circumstance. and you can go as extreme as you want. Now let's get into the time period. I would recommend you do from anywhere between 21 and 90 days per block of monk mode you do. I say this because under 21 days almost isn't enough to get all the benefits, since it is quite a short period to achieve your goals, and whereas anything above 90 days can be too long, as I do believe you need to give yourself time to rest after long time periods, and it gets to the point where you lose everything in your life except your work, and this is no way to live. It all depends on your experience with monk mode already and what you want to achieve. For example, if this is your first time, you're probably not going to be able to last 3 months. However, if you're a regular at doing monk mode, that 21 days will be no problem for you. If you really want to get the most success out of monk mode, I would recommend spending between a half and 3/4 of the year in monk mode, and you can split this however you want, whether it's 3 periods of 90-day monk modes or 6 periods of 45 days. You can do whatever works better for you. Now that we have set up the rules, we can actually get into how you can complete your monk mode. All we need to decide your goals. A list of things you want to achieve with this monk mode. So I encourage you to grab a piece of paper or open a notes app on your phone and just journal on what you want for a few minutes. For example, you could have reached 10,000 pounds per month in a business, bench press 100 kilograms, and start investing. But I wouldn't recommend you go over 3 goals, as when you do more than that is when you focus on too many things at once, you make much less focus on all of the objectives. So I would recommend you look at all of your goals that you wrote down and list them from most to least important. Then after you've done this, cross off all the ones that aren't in the top 3. These ones are the things you will completely focus on for this monk mode. But don't worry if you still find yourself worrying about the things you've crossed off the list, because you can revisit them at a later date or even a later monk mode, but they just shouldn't be your top priority right now. You must do this before each period of monk mode so you can set different priorities before each one. Now after you know what you must achieve, you need to write and actually plan on how to achieve what you want. You do this by looking at your goal and the time period you have set for yourself, and write a timeline for different events to get to your goals and when you want to achieve them. For example, let's say your goal is to get your new business to 2,000 pounds per month in 90 days. You would start by defining what exactly you will need to do to be getting that 2,000 per month. So we can just say that you are using a client-based business. Then you must work out how many clients you will need to achieve this. We will say that you charge 500 pounds per month to each client, which would mean you need 4 in total. You would then write a plan on how exactly you would achieve this and how much time it would take you. Not only that, but you would also need to classify how much time you'd spend on each client per day, and this will help you write your daily timetable, which we will go over soon. This is just a small example of what you do for a business, but you can also use the same prizables for any other goals you may have. Now I want you to go through all your goals and do this for them, clarifying what you need to do to get them, when you will hit deadlines, and how much time it consumes, which leads us on to the next part. Writing your daily timetable is the thing that will keep you on track and make sure you are actually taking action and not mindlessly wasting time without releasing. Now that we know how much time we need to spend on each goal, we need to organize them into our day, ideally spending the most time on our top priority, which you should already know. You can write this down on paper or just use the calendar app on your phone, but one thing I would recommend is making sure it is always visible. Whether that is through putting the piece of paper on your wall or making it your screensaver, when you can always see it, you are always reminded of what you must do, and you will be much less likely to go off course. You want to write an almost military-like timetable where you know exactly what you are doing at each time of the day and know exactly how it fits into the plan you made before. I would recommend giving yourself 20 to 30 minutes at the end of every day to write tomorrow's routine, along with quickly journaling and reflecting on what you did that day, along with how that progresses towards your goals, and if you need to switch up the plan. This will also help you gather your thoughts and stay present in the day, since you will be spending most of your days lost in work, so this can really help. You must also to remember to add your 1 hour of exercise and meditation, as well as at least 8 to 10 hours for sleep. Already discussed why these are vital to your success, so make sure we have time for them. And when I say 1 hour of exercise, this is just a minimum. For example, if one of your goals is a fitness related goal, then you should be spending more than an hour a day on it. You should organize your timetable in a way where your top priority is the one you spend most of your time on and the main focus of your day, while if you have over goals, they are secondary. And if you must, they can sometimes be sacrificed for your main goal, which most likely will be financial. So, for example, let's your secondary goal is fitness. Now you know you need to be eating multiple times a day to maximize building muscle, but you also know that eating can ruin your focus when working and that you work better fasted. Then in this case, I would recommend you do intermittent fasting for the first half of your day when you do most of your work, and then break your fast before you go to the gym, and make sure you get your calorie and protein needs in the afternoon. That we know how you're going to set up your monk mode, we need to know how you can limit some of the limiting factors stealing your focus. For example, even if you just have TikTok on your phone, you could accidentally find yourself mindlessly scrolling or on Instagram wasting hours looking at women doing stupid dances, distracting you from your goals. So the way to get rid of this is by just deleting the app as a whole. But I do realize that some people need it to work on and can't just delete it, so for those people you need to make it hard to access. Whether it's logging out of your account every time you leave the app or even deleting it off of your home screen, but still having it in your library, you can do whatever works the best for you. Just make sure it is a challenge to get onto. And you can do this for everything that even distracts you in the slightest by temporarily deleting it or making it hard to access. A lot of might be having limiting beliefs listening to this. Like saying things such as that it is extreme or that you don't need to do it and you just won't go on the apps. But I want you to realize that if you don't even have the willpower to get rid of the distraction, then that means subconsciously you are planning on using them. Otherwise, you would have already deleted it by now. And if you're still having limiting beliefs, you might as well click off the video now, as you are never going to succeed if you can't even do this. This brings on to another problem. Most people just don't have the correct mindset to succeed in monk mode. One example of this would be people who think that they need 1 hour of video games to relax, or 1 hour of Netflix, or 1 hour of YouTube, or any other form of time wasting that you spend hours a day on, all while telling yourself you are relaxing. When in reality, these are all hyperstimulation and are actually activate your brain more than your work. It's just that because it is easy and enjoyable, you think that you're relaxing. And when you feel tired after doing an hour of work, I want you to know that it's just your brain playing tricks on you because you believe you are working hard when in reality you haven't been working long. This happens because you are telling yourself that you should be tired because of your limiting beliefs for all the years of wasting hours each day, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy which will destroy any chance of success you had. The only ways to actually relax are sleep, meditation, or walking, nature of which you can do all of and still should have all the energy you need without wasting much time. Now with all this knowledge, you should have all you need to complete your first monk mode and finally experience what it takes to win in the game of life. This life isn't for everyone, but it is the life you need if you have great ambition and actually want to achieve greatness, so I wish you luck on your monk mode.